Hey everybody, I'm John Granato. You can hear me mornings on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. That's Josh Jordan. You can hear him on Sunday mornings talking money line, getting you some good bets in for your Sunday afternoons. And you can also see his work at sportsmaphouston.com. Big Texan story this week, the release of Zach Cunningham, Josh, the latest example of cultural conflict combined with a regrettable contract. When Bill O'Brien was fired, we thought there would be less conflict with players and better personnel decisions. Could we have predicted things would get worse? Because it looks like they're worse.
I couldn't have predicted that whatsoever. Somehow it was easier to play for Bill O'Brien than it is to play for a player's coach like David Culley. It's incredible. We weren't seeing guys get suspended or deemed inactive for having issues with discipline when Bill O'Brien was here. If that was happening, it was probably happening behind the scenes. Maybe guys were being fined for being late to meetings. That's more traditional across the NFL. It's very odd to me that the guys are being suspended for games or benched and even cut for things like being late. Of course, Cunningham, look, it's a multiple offender for him, but still, it seems like it's worse with O'Brien gone.
And it's funny, Culley, when they asked, was it a hard decision? No, it's not hard at all. Beat it. You're not following the rules. Beat it. Like, wow, dude, it's tough. And he's supposed to be a player's coach, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But first, I want to talk about cold, clean, crisp, refreshing. Coors Light is the world's most refreshing beer. I don't care what you're doing. Make it your official beer. I do it. It's actually my wedding anniversary today, so I'm going to have a few Coors Lights. If it wasn't my wedding anniversary today, I'd probably have a few Coors Lights, because that's just, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's your birthday, it's not your birthday, whatever the case may be. Make Coors Light the beer of whatever you're doing at that particular moment, because it's the world's most refreshing beer. The main reason Texans supposedly hired Culley was because he's a player's coach. I mean, this string of disciplinary issues point to Culley's leadership. Does it point to that, or is it more about the players not wanting to play for this franchise, having bad attitudes because of where this franchise is right now?
Yeah, B. I'm going to take the second one there. And, Culley said that he told Cunningham if he had another slip up like this again, he'd be gone. So I think Cunningham was like, great, I'm going to do exactly that. I think he wanted out of here. You see companies, sometimes they do like a landmark firing when a new manager takes over, or when a new coach comes in, a guy falls asleep in a meeting and he cuts him. I almost feel they're doing some of this with Culley here. Like, let's give Culley some power. Let's have him get rid of somebody in front of the whole team so that they know he swings a big stick. And maybe that's part of it. But I wonder, John, is this where guys see that, hey, that can get me out of here? That I can leave this organization, go to a contender, pick up another contract and make more money. Especially guys like Justin Reed. He's nominated for Walter Payton Man of the Year, and he got suspended for a game. I mean, he's not a bad culture guy. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Just a week later, a week after he was suspended, hey, the Texans nominate him for the Man of the Year. What? That doesn't make much sense. But big ups to Mark Lane from Texans Wire, who dug up the quotes from Bill O'Brien about the signing of Zach Cunningham and what a great culture person he was and what a great individual he was, and how Jack Easterby was so instrumental. He did the negotiations, which gave him $12 million a year for a middle linebacker, which nobody pays anymore. So Easterby is in the middle of all this, and there's no question about it. Is it a coincidence that Easterby is at the height of his power when this organization is at its worst?
No, because they're still having to deal with these contracts that Easterby helped negotiate. Zach Cunningham, they're going to eat over $12 million in dead cap next year because of this Cunningham deal. And who knows with Deshaun Watson that, he helped negotiate that deal too. And, Lance brought it up on the show this morning. He gave him the no trade clause. So that's why you're still sitting here with Deshaun. And even going into next year, you may not be able to get the best deal for him because he can exercise that no trade clause, which he's decided to weaponize. The no trade clause is supposed to be like, hey, if I like playing here, you can't just trade me and pull the rug from under me. It's not supposed to weaponize the player to where they can dictate wherever they want to go.
Big ups to, giving Deshaun all that money and a no trade clause. Big ups, Tunsil, $22 million a year. Big ups, Zach Cunningham, 12-something a year. I mean, way to go, Jack. Listen, those guys would have taken It's unbelievable where this franchise is and the contracts that they're in. And in large part, it's due to Jack Easterby. I know a lot of people think, well, you're picking, it's Jack Easterby. Like it's Jack Easterby. No, these are specific things that are Jack Easterby's fault. Paying guys money they shouldn't be paid. And this is why you're in the situation that you're in. You don't have money to go out and get good players. You traded away draft picks for players that aren't even on the field. It's just awful. And Jack Easterby is in the middle of it and does deserve the blame that he gets. Other people have been fired for it. Jack Easterby needs to be next.